ABC 36 Sports Solid Blue Preview Show, presented by Clark's Pump and Shop, Double Dogs, and Mingy Beef Jerky. Starts now.
Hi, everyone, and welcome into our Solid Blue Preview Show. I'm Jeff Pecoro. Well, this is going to be a tough season for the Wildcats. Why? Because they have one of the hardest schedules in the entire country, but they have 8 home games, and that could be a difference maker. This team is going to go as far as their new quarterback takes them, and that is former 5-star recruit Brock Vandagriff as he comes to Kentucky from Georgia. Now, calling plays for him is going to be another newcomer. From Boise State comes offensive coordinator Bush Hamdan, and I had a chance to talk to him earlier this week. Coach, thanks for taking a couple minutes to join us here. You've got to be excited getting ready for the first game here at Kentucky, aren't you?
Yeah, extremely excited. I think it's been such a great journey for the last 4 or 5 months. And as you know, the way fall camp goes, you get tired of hitting one another and going up against the defense. And so I think our guys are excited, and we certainly are as well.
All right, well, the first question has to be obviously quarterback, because that's what runs the offense. And you've got a couple to choose from. How is that coming, and how's Brock doing since he's in command of this O?
Yeah, we said it. We're excited about the whole group. We really are. We think we've got talented players and really a lot of depth. Brock's done an outstanding job. Again, he is everything you want in a quarterback from a toughness standpoint, preparation, and it certainly helped. You take a transfer, and in the situation they're in, they have such a short amount of time to put it together. And again, we've been extremely pleased. He continues to get better and better, and I think he'll be ready.
What does Gavin add to that room? He's a kid from Kentucky, so a lot of people know him here.
He is an extremely impressive athlete, you know, and that combination of size and speed and arm talent is certainly a guy that I think each scrimmage we've had, he's a guy that impresses you, not just in the quarterback room, but looking him in totality of the whole offense. He's a guy that we've got to utilize for his many strengths, and we're excited to have him as well.
Bush, the one question we get over and over again, I can't wait till the games start playing so we get this question. I don't have to ask you anymore. Pace of play or tempo. Certainly. How is it going to be different, and how much is it going to help with the cams in the helmets?
I think it'll be different. You know, again, there's so much for us. We're in the preparation process throughout the year. We're planning on how do we play with different paces, right? And how do we have the ability to play extremely fast? Do we have the ability to slow things down? And what does that look like? From the quarterback communication standpoint, it's been tremendous because you have the ability at least to have that direct line of communication to the quarterback where you don't feel you need to huddle every play. And we're extremely excited about the things that'll open up.
I think the one thing that helps you, too, is the experience you have. Now, you've added 2 receivers through the portal, but the depth and experience you have at both receiver and the tight end room, that's got to help.
I think so. I think, again, these guys have been through a lot of different systems, if you will, from the last couple years, but you can never take away their game experience.
When people think of you played at Boise State, you think of a Boise State offense, you think of a lot of points, throwing the ball over, but ever since you've called plays, you've always had a 1,000-yard rusher, and that's kind of the basis of this offense you brought here, right?
I think so. I think, the experience also of being in this league for the years we've had, it always has to start with running the football, with the physicality of the fronts at all levels. But again, it's creating off the runs and creating those explosives, which we've talked about so much with our team, certainly in the media in the last 3-4 months. I think that's a game changer.
How much did it help being at Missouri, getting to kind of get the lay of the land in the Southeastern Conference to help you as a play caller?
I think it's critical. I do. I think, we look at a lot of those teams and the building we were in that 3 years there to what they've been able to do here as of late. So, again, I rely on my experience at Florida. I rely on my experience at Missouri to, guide this offense to where we got to go.
Finish this question for me or answer this question. The strength of this offense will be?
Experience. I think you said it. It's. I think there is experience at all levels. Certainly up front when you look at Eli Cox and Marcus Cox and the amount of football they've played here. But also at the tight end room, at the receiver room, there's just a good mixture of veteran leadership infused with young talent. We got to take advantage of both those things, play as many people as we can play, and to have the success we need to have.
Thank you so much, and good luck this year.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having
Thanks.
me. All right, guys.
Boy, I think this offense is in great hands with Bush Hamden at the helm, don't you? Stay with us. When we return to our Solid Blue preview show, we'll be in Dick Gabriel's garage.
Name a kitchen tool you can use in the bedroom.
A spoon!
What does y'all do?
Family Feud. 10, 4, and 7:30 on ABC 36.
Good morning, Isabella.
Hi, David.
Back for your morning routine?
Clark's Refresh Rewards program is something you'll live for.
Hey, Isabella. Hi, Annabelle.
Donut?
Don't forget the sprinkles. Cream and sugar.
Download our app today and enjoy all of the rewards. No flipping required.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
What does it take to be the most watched newscast in America?
We are part of an operation.
Is this our combat operations center?
We're approaching the gate now. The house is destroyed, but the flag...
Not a pair in it.
That molten sulfur has been contained. That harmful gas in the air has not been detected.
Hi.
Ismail? David. I'm David Muir.
I know who you are.
You
Watch
do?
you every night.
Champion's big window sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows. Because when you buy two, you get two free. Buy two Champion windows, get two free? I guess that means if you buy four, you get four free. Buy six, get six free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's buy two, get two free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
The top 64 flavors are in for the Mingy Beef Jerky Voting Bracket Challenge. Go to WTVQ.com to vote round by round for the flavor you think should win, for a chance to win a box of Mingy Beef Jerky valued at $100. Voting ends August 29th.
Welcome back, Ed, and we are in the now famous garage where for the past 4 seasons Dick Gabriel has done his nightly show, The Big Blue Insider. So it's great to be in the garage with Dick. And then also Aaron Gershon, who's a writer for the Cat's Paws, who covers the University of Kentucky. So let's talk about this football team. Dick does the nightly 2-hour show every night, talking mostly football, but he's talking everything else right now until the season starts. Aaron, you've been covering this team since the winter. It's to that point now in the season where you start getting some injuries that are creeping up here. And how does that affect the team?
Yeah, I mean, we have to get official word from UK at this point, but it sounds like Hardly Gilmore, a freshman wide receiver who just 17 years old, came in at the start of bowl practice. That's something you could do with your freshman now. And he's lit it up ever since, and unfortunately sounds like he has a collarbone injury that's going to keep him out a while. And then Chip Trayanum, who's supposed to be the starting running back for this team, it's already a thin running back room. Really, they don't have that bell cow you're used to. Sounds like he's going to be out a couple weeks with a broken hand. So those are tough blows, especially Trayanum, because, again, Kentucky does not have a bell cow running back. The other guys in that room have a combined 0 starts in their starting career. 2 of them are freshmen, one being a redshirt freshman and Jamarian Wilcox. And then Bush Hamden, every year he's been an offensive coordinator, has had a rusher that's run for 1,000 yards. That's going to be difficult to do now.
But the question is quarterback. And they brought in a guy that was a top 5 high school player coming out of high school 3 years ago in Georgia. What do you think of Brock?
John Clay has been a guest from the Herald Leader on my show several times. And since the day they signed Brock Vandagriff, John has mentioned this, not just to me but others, that one of his buddies who covers Georgia said that, and you probably heard this too, Aaron, that Brock was close to beating out Carson Beck, who's pretty good.
He's going to be the #1 pick in the draft next year.
Came down to like the last day of practice, right? When they decided
they did come down to the bitter end, yeah.
So when but it's quarterback. So if you're second, brother, and you're on that bench with a clipboard.
Can the line protect him this year? That was a big thing. They got the new coach back to coach the line, and they got a couple transfers in. Can they protect whoever's quarterback?
I think they can for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think with the offensive change and the tempo, I think that will give the line, and you can speak more to this, more of an advantage. You know, if you're not waiting and giving the defense a chance to get set and tee off, I think that's got to help the O-line. More experience will help. As you said, bringing in more depth will help. having a guy who's been playing college football for 20 years, and Marcus Cox.
Oh my gosh.
Help.
And Eli.
Exactly. And Jagger Burton's experience. So yeah, I think so.
On the defensive side, I think you have to have stars at each level to be successful. The defensive front, the front seven, let's say, might be the deepest they've had.
I think it is.
They've had some injuries. Guys are coming back. Deion Walker is a monster up front. De'Aaron Jackson is a monster at linebacker. You've got edge guys. The secondary was a question mark, but you have 4 safeties that have started games.
Yeah, and you have an elite corner. You have one elite corner, Maxwell Harrison. This is a guy who was voted first team All-SEC preseason. That's hard to do. So you have an elite corner. Like you said, some experience in the safety room. I think that room it's set to kind of bounce back. I think injuries killed him last year, honestly. Jordan Levitt, I think, missed 3 games. Obviously, Jalen Geiger's now at Tulane, missed some time. Zion Childress kind of had an up-and-down year, and then Ty Bryant had to play as a young guy. So I think that room should be better. The big thing on the defense is finding out who's going to be that second outside corner, and then who's going to play in the slot. If they figure that out, there's not really a hole in this defense. It's as good as it's been, like you said, under Mark Stoops, especially when you have that lockdown corner. Deion Walker's the best interior defensive lineman in the country. I think we'd all agree. And then, not just De'Aaron Jackson, but adding Dumas Johnson in the middle there to alleviate the blow that is losing Trevin Walsey early. I mean,
all right, so the big question this year is, look, you got 4 tough road games, right? Going to Tennessee, going to Texas for the first time ever, going to Austin, but it is brutal. But if you look at it, can they get to 9? Can they get to 10? Can they get to 8?
I think the path to 8 is very real. For me, the 2 games I keep going back to, really 3, but 2 specifically, South Carolina week 2 and Auburn, I forget what week it is, but the end of October. Those are the 2 games to me that decide the ceiling of this team.
And we also have to think about Louisville. Preseason top 25 was 25th in the AP, or 26th actually, 26, with 111 votes to 3 for Kentucky. So already UK's an underdog in that game. So I'm like Aaron. I think 8, yes, 9 or 10, possible. But to me, it always comes back as well. Stay healthy.
This is The Garage. Dick Gabriel, thank you so much. Aaron Gershon, thank you so much for joining us as well. We'll be back with more right after this. Stay with us.
Celebrate SEC football on ABC 36 at the SEC Kickoff Party, August 28th at Double Dogs. Enjoy drink specials benefiting the Lexington Humane Society. Spin the wheel for door prizes, and don't miss your chance to win a $100 gift card to Double Dogs, a $100 gift card to Clark's Pump and Shop, and a $200 gift card to Jeff Ruby's in the SEC Kickoff Party giveaway. Go to WTVQ.com to enter and come by the SEC Kickoff Party, August 28th at Double Dogs to find out if you're the winner.
According to the CDC, bad falls are the leading cause of injury for people over 65. When nursing homes cut corners on safety, these types of injuries can go from just painful to deadly. If your loved one has suffered a fall, questionable illness, or other injury in a nursing home, it could be a red flag of improper care. Call us at Hughes & Coleman. We can help you get to the bottom of it. Get Hughes & Coleman and get it done. Call 800-800-4600.
Welcome back to our Solid Blue Preview Show. I'm Jeff Pecoro. Well, the strength of this Kentucky football team is their defense. They return 9 starters for Brad White, and they're deep. 2 deep at every single position. This team is going to be tough defensively, and to win in the SEC, you've got to have a great defense. I sat down and talked to Brad about how tough this defense is going to be this season. I would say of all the coaches on this team, you have to be one of the most excited because of what you get to work with. You got 9 starters coming back. You got some depth. You got some transfers coming in. I bet you can't wait till Saturday gets here, can you?
I tell you what, the one thing, as a coach, you can't have enough practices because you have a mistake here, a mistake there. You're like, oh man, how many? We only get 25 before we start. Maybe can we get 28? But no, we're really excited. Obviously, return a lot of experience, and as you mentioned, added some pieces that we're excited about and that have really integrated sort of well into what we do. And our guys have done a great job of sort of embracing them, taking them in, and so they can get used to sort of one, our standards, and then two, our defense.
I know from your years in the NFL, retention is big because guys are usually there 2, 3, 4 years in a row. You've got a lot of guys coming back. So first day when you actually get out on the field, it probably felt like 2 or 3 weeks into practice because of what you could put in, right?
It is. Your early installs go really smooth. Things look cleaner on film, so you feel like you can progress. Again, but the big thing is to make sure that everybody's moving along. At that point, and you can't. We all know that injuries happen, and I think maybe at times in the past, when we've had some veteran groups, maybe we put in a lot or we move really fast, and you can't forget about, hey, who's waiting in the wings?
Talk about how the moving pieces that you can use. It's not really a set, these 7 guys are going to play every play type of thing.
Absolutely, and I think that's where that depth piece comes in, that we can move some guys around. You mentioned Alex, his ability to play both inside and out. Tyrese has gotten bigger, so he can play, both outside linebacker positions. JJ's added weight. The flexibility that we have with the defensive line. They can play both the field and the boundary. We've got some big bodies that can play, really all 3 positions, or at least the nose and the boundary.
I got to ask you about one guy in particular, and that's Deion, obviously.
Everybody sees sort of the physical nature of Deion. Like they see this giant, you said grizzly bear, but then you look down below and he looks like he's got linebacker DB legs. And that's why he's got such quick feet and he's so light on his feet. But it's the way he approaches the game and his mentality and how smart he is and how he can read backfield sets, how he can read O-line stances. He gives you some, for a man that size, that he can drop into coverage and he can give you a couple of snaps.
Coach Stoops said that you can't do that this year.
Right, yeah. No, trust me, we'll have him going forward plenty.
You got basically 4 guys at safety who've played a lot. And then you have the other corner, but you brought in 3 guys from other schools, some big-time players. I don't think that there's a problem back there. A lot of people are saying, boy, that's the weakness of this defense.
Yeah, you know what? Time will tell, right? Yeah. Time will tell. But I do like, again, the fact that, yes, we have some really established safeties in the middle. We talk about from the start, it's about being strong in the middle of the defense. And, you talk about from our interior D linemen to the inside linebackers to safeties. Like when you're strong down the middle of the defense, you can be strong against the run, and you can build from there. And so to have, 4 safeties that are SEC, quality starting safeties, whichever way you mix and match them, you feel really good about that. Obviously, Max had a phenomenal first year, as a starter, solidified himself as, one of the top, corners in this country. And he needs to, continue to build on that. He knows that. He has the talent. I feel like he's worked extremely hard this offseason to take that responsibility to be that guy. And guys will test you and challenge you. And I think he's up for that challenge. And it's going to be for the guys opposite him to rise to that moment.
I do want to ask you about one specific position because you've made tweaked it a little bit, I guess. And that's nickel, where you've moved Zion into that, and it's not going to be, I don't know if it's his primary position or what, but he's going to play both. But tell me the importance of that nickel, because a lot of people think a nickel, it's just another cornerback, he comes in, but
that what we call, that field overhang outside linebacker position can be so many different body types, right? You can put a big outside linebacker in there to take space,
like an Afari type,
like an Afari, like a Tyrese Fearbry, right? Like some bigger bodies there. You may not be able to get quite as sticky in certain coverages. Now you bring in a smaller body, you understand, hey, listen, maybe I can get more. I can play more man. I can get more aggressive. But hey, listen, when they put tight ends to that side of the field, it gets a little bit harder to hold up. Right. So having a mix there, and Zion brings a toughness and a savviness, to that position. And again, one of the greats to ever play for us. I was lucky enough to be here for Mike Edwards' senior year, and you can change the game from that position. Right. When you have that savvy player, and Zion has some of those traits, some of those just natural football instincts. Really a good tackler, that Mike had.
Final question for you is just simply, the strength of this defense is what?
I hope at the end of the season, when everybody looks back, they'll say the strength of this defense was that they played collective together. Obviously, there are some areas where we probably have more experience. Obviously, everybody will look to the D-line, and obviously we need that group to play really well. But ultimately, the best defenses that I've ever been around, they play collectively well together, because nobody's going to play a perfect game for 12 games. Very few perfect games are ever played, period. But there's going to be times that positions of strength don't play their best game, so somebody else is going to have to elevate and play maybe above their level. And so we're going to need that. We can't say just this one group has to carry us. Like, everybody's got to pick up the rope, pull it, and so hopefully at the end of the season say collectively this was as good of a group that played for each other as we've ever had.
Appreciate it. Good luck this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado LT when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Hey y'all, it's Josh
and Greg from Hicks & Funson Kentucky Lawyers.
You know, those giant law firms love to brag about how many billions they've won. But what's important to us is winning the support of our Kentucky community and fighting for justice for our clients.
We are grateful you voted us Best Law Firm in the 2024 Smiley Pete Best of Lexington contest. At Hicks & Funson, you're more than a dollar sign and more than just a number.
So if you've been injured and you prefer local instead of large, call 859-777-7000 or visit honestfearless.com.
If it weren't for Italians, we'd never know what food.
What? The
good wine.
Feud. Now, next time you get some Italian wine, chew it.
5 days a week, you'll be saying, what the feud?
If it weren't for the Italian, we'd never know what food.
Italian dressing.
Family Feud, weekdays at 10, 4, and 7:30 on ABC 36 News Now. Celebrate SEC football on ABC 36 at the SEC Kickoff Party, August 28th at Double Dogs. Enjoy drink specials benefiting the Lexington Humane Society. Spin the wheel for door prizes, and don't miss your chance to win a $100 gift card to Double Dogs, a $100 gift card to Clark's Pump and Shop, and a $200 gift card to Jeff Ruby's in the SEC Kickoff Party giveaway. Go to WTVQ.com to enter and come by the SEC Kickoff Party, August 28th at Double Dogs to find out if you're the winner.
Welcome back to our Solid Blue preview show. It's time now to look at the schedule, one of the toughest in the nation. And Wildcat fans, you're going to know how good this team is in the first 3 weeks. Kentucky gets things started at home with Southern Miss coming to town for a 7:45 tilt that's on SEC Network. Then they jump right to ABC for the next 2 games. Kentucky hosts South Carolina for a 3:30 kick, and then a huge game with number 1 Georgia. That game will kick off at 7:30, again, national television on ABC. Kentucky gets a bit of a breather next at home, so first 4 games at home as they take on the Bobcats of Ohio. But then it's off to Mississippi to take on a top 10 Ole Miss team. That game will be a noon kickoff. After that big game against the Rebels, the Cats come home again to host the Vanderbilt Commodores on October 12th. Another away game against a team Kentucky has had their number recently, the Florida Gators, winning 4 of the last 5 games against Florida. Kentucky then hosts Auburn at a huge contest on October 26th. On November 2nd, it's their arch rival Tennessee in Knoxville. Tennessee, another top 20 team, checking in at 15 in the preseason rankings. Kentucky gets another breather at home on November 16th for a 1:30 game against Murray State. After the Murray State game, Kentucky should be looking at somewhere around 7 or 8 wins, and then they close it out with 2 of the toughest games on their schedule. For the first time ever, the Wildcats travel to Austin, Texas to take on the Longhorns. Many people feel the Longhorns could be in consideration for a national championship this year. And then, of course, the final game at home this year is Louisville. And that could be the difference between 9 or 10 wins. I'm thinking Kentucky's going to get an upset on the road in this Louisville game. If you finish at 9 or 10 wins, you're probably getting in the playoffs. I hope that you are as excited as I am about the upcoming season. Thanks for watching our Solid Blue preview show.